Hey guys, what's up? This is Dion Forrest back with you, and as you can see, I'm here in my kitchen, and you're probably wondering why. Well, to make a long story short, I just got done working out a couple of minutes ago, and I got extremely hungry, and I was looking for food in my kitchen, and I said, you know what? Why not just shoot a video? So here I am in front of the camera shooting a video for you guys. I know, pretty weird, but that's me. So today's topic, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about celiac disease and people who are sensitive to gluten and can't really consume wheat products because it bothers their stomach, and other alternatives if you're looking for other carbohydrate alternatives other than wheat and certain grains. I'm also going to tell you guys what you can replace it as far as like wheat stuff that contains wheat or soy or any of the other grains that are genetically modified. So personally, I don't consume, or I try to stay away from wheat, corn, and soy as much as I can. The reason why is because wheat, corn, and soy are all genetically modified, like I mentioned before. The reason why most people who have celiac disease or people who are sensitive to gluten is because there's a herbicide inside of wheat. It's been genetically modified, and there's an herbicide inside of the wheat that when you consume it, it irritates the bacterial lining of our intestines. And of course, you know, eventually if you keep consuming this herbicide actually begins to grow and develop inside the walls of your intestines, and it begins to eat up and kill all the good bacteria that's inside your intestinal tracts, your intestinal walls. And as you know, we need good bacteria. We need that good bacteria in our digestive system in order to help us digest food properly. And some of them are even important to our immune system health. And it's been known that most people with celiac disease have an autoimmune deficiency. Actually, most people who are type 1 diabetics, most people who have celiac disease are usually can usually later develop forms of type 1 diabetes. And type 1 diabetes, unlike type 2 diabetes, is a form of an autoimmune deficiency. So, with that said, stay away from wheat, corn, and soy as much as possible. They're all genetically modified, and they will throw off your immune system, and they cause all sorts of bad effects. So stay away from them. Now, alternatives, if you're looking to replace your carbohydrates, and if you can't consume wheat or soy or any of those things, what I like to eat a lot is yams. I like to eat yams. As you can see here, I have this is a yam. This is a orange yam. I think this is a Chinese yam, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check the name on it. But yams are really good. They're filled with a lot of good minerals, important minerals and nutrients, and antioxidants. And unlike white potatoes, yams, or sweet potatoes, which is another name for them, they're not high glycemic. They won't spike your blood sugar levels, and they will help actually keep your blood sugar levels stable. And they're really good. They're really good. They fill you up, and they have a delicious taste to them. I love sweet potatoes. Sometimes I like to add a little bit of butter to them. It really brings out the flavor. But that's up to you. To each his own. Sweet potatoes. Another thing I like to eat is zucchini. I love zucchini. I think zucchini is a pretty good replacement as far as carbohydrates. Quinoa is also pretty good as well. I usually eat quinoa sometimes. As a matter of fact, I have some. Just a minute. This is actually red quinoa I have here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Red quinoa. I also have white quinoa. And quinoa is pretty good. It's actually... quinoa is actually, it's not a grain. It's actually what they call a... I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's called a medicinal grain because it's actually a seed. But when you cook it, it almost has the texture and the form of a grain. Sort of similar to oatmeal or grits, but it's actually a seed. You can actually taste the difference in it. It actually tastes plant-like. So, yeah. So those are usually my replacements for carbohydrates. Starches like sweet potatoes and quinoa. And also I do eat sourdough bread. Like there's a special German bread that I buy from the store. I don't quite recall the name of it, but it's pretty good. Sourdough really digests very well in your stomach as opposed to normal processed bread that you get from your local market. Another thing too that I use, even though this is wheat, it's sprouted wheat, and this is Ezekiel cereal. Now, some people who have celiac disease, it's best that they stay away from all wheat in general. But some people who maybe have gluten sensitivity, they can eat certain grains that won't bother them, like oatmeal, quinoa. Some people can eat brown rice. It all depends on how your body responds to these certain grains that you intake. Ezekiel is good with me. Ezekiel cereal, it's really good with me. I can digest it really well, and it has really good flavor. And if you are going to eat wheat, organic sprouted wheat is the best route to go. See, usually the organic sprouted wheat doesn't contain the herbicide like the domesticated, retarded form of wheat. I call it retarded wheat because the wheat that we consume today is not like the wheat that our ancestors consumed hundreds of thousands of years ago. We have a retarded, domesticated, mutated version of wheat, and the herbicide in it is so dangerous that it's very detrimental to the human body. So sprouted wheat doesn't contain high amounts of the herbicide in it. It digests differently. It's the purest form of wheat that we can probably get to, and barley as well. Barley is also organic sprouted barley is also probably the closest we can get to what our ancestors ate 100,000 years ago. At least that's my opinion from the research that I've been doing. But if you do eat wheat, like I said, eat sprouted at best. But I would say other than that, stay away from it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hope that was helpful. Subscribe and stay tuned for my next video. See you soon. Peace. Nah, I'm just kidding. Peace.